I'm having fun with my Chevy Astro van, which is just like a GMC Safari. What started all this was this assist handle, turns out, is essentially cheap plastic, and it broke when someone was pulling on it. So I set out to try to decide how to get to it so I could fix it. And as is typically the case, it's a nightmare. Now, to finish preparing to be able to pull this handle loose, you really need to take this bolster here out. And it's held on by 3 screws. There's one on the side right here, and then there's 2, let's see if I can get to them, right here. I've already got them out. One of them's right here in front of this vacuum motor, and the other one is right here. So once you get those out, then it's got a couple of latches, those pesky little clips, and they are right here. So I get those on loose, I just grab it and pull, and the whole thing comes out. Because this handle is held on with 2 nuts that are screwed onto 2 bolts that are in this handle. Now I've already got this loose just so you can see, but one of those embedded bolts goes in this hole, the other embedded bolt goes in this hole. And here's what the little pesky things look like. This is how it comes from the factory. They're just metal molded into plastic. You can see this one's already started cracking. And what started all this is somebody grabbed this handle on this van and ripped this bolt out. So I took some Gorilla Glue I got at Home Depot and glued it all back together, and I'm going to see if that'll hold. If not, maybe JB Weld will work. Well, I'm working on the inside of my 2002 Chevy Astro van, and the further I got, the more it looked like I just needed to go ahead and pull this passenger side airbag loose. There seems to be some internet discussion on how do you do that, so here's some clues, guys. First thing, go disconnect the negative cable from the battery under the engine compartment. That prevents this thing from going off in your face. If you don't do that, go back in the house. Second thing, underneath here, which is where the glove compartment was, go watch one of my other videos. Anything in yellow has to do with airbags. So there's a yellow connector up here. This one comes from the airbag, and you'll need that loose because if you want to take this thing out. This one goes to the car. You pull that little blue securing strap out. This connector has a clip on it. You lift up on that clip and pull these apart. That's how that works. Then you go back over here, and up underneath, the airbag assembly is held in with 2 bolts and 2 clips. The bolts, once you get all this bolster and all this stuff down here, and I actually took, you wouldn't necessarily have to, but it just made it easier for me. I took 4 screws out that were like this size. They're gold, and they kind of hold this air conditioning ducting in place. I can't figure out how to get it out of the way, but I got it dropped down, so that makes a big difference. Back to the airbag assembly, there's bolts. These are size 10 millimeter bolts, and I've already got them loose. There's 2 of them. There's one there, and there's one on this side. So if you take those 2 bolts loose, let's see if I can do this. I'll tell you what, let me get those 2 bolts loose, and then I'll come back. Okay, I got those 2 bolts out, and what you'll find is, like, here's an air conditioner register, and you can't get it loose. There's a bolt underneath here. You take that out, and there's a little clip up here, and you can't get it loose because this lip here is down behind the airbag assembly. So the 2 clips that hold the airbag assembly in, I've already got this one loose. Don't worry about that. 2 clips that hold the airbag assembly. Once you got those 2 bolts out down below, these are the clips. This is the airbag assembly in this little L bracket, and it fits into these 2 clips that are on the car. So you can reach underneath, because I took this register out to make it easy for you to see. but that'll be in your way because you can't get it out until you get the airbag out. But you can either reach up under here, the way I did it, where that screw was. I took a screwdriver and grabbed that and pried that out. And what that does is that forces that clip. Where's my clip? Forces that out of that clip. The whole thing then rolls down because you got to make room for that to come out. And I'm not going to be able to do it with one hand. So the first thing to do, once you get it loose, is take this other register thing out of the way. And that enables me to get in here and pull this cable up out of the way. Now I can roll this whole thing out. So there's the airbag assembly. And here's the clip for this side. There's the clip for the other side. And when you go back up here, now, put this down here, you can really see conveniently where the two screws go that hold it in, that we had to come up underneath here to get to, and the two clip assemblies. And the reason I had to do all this is to be able to get to these two stupid bolts that hold this assist bar on. But now it's real easy to get to them. So I'm going to put that all back together, put the airbag assembly back together, put the heater stuff back together, put the bolster back together, put the glove compartment back together. Oh, and don't forget the air ducting for the heater, and plug all the wires in and hope that I don't have any parts left over.